Coming up on this week's Hot Scores, mental health in football, Oxlaide Chamberlain and Premier League finances. I'm sure I'm not alone in feeling complete shock and sadness at Gary Speed's suicide. So this opening segment devotes a minute or two to being completely honest and raising awareness on mental health issues. As yet, there is no confirmation Gary's suicide was directly related to depression, but it's an important subject and we must talk about it. Episodes of acute or chronic depression and other mental health issues come about through biological disposition, circumstances, exposure to chemicals, diseases, or a combination of the three parts. The thing is, when people are doing jobs under the microscope of the public and professional eye, mental health problems will be that much harder to cope with and possibly exacerbated. You have to have masses of emotional resilience and good coping structures in place to help at tough times. Stress can do terrible things to people and make underlying emotional issues even worse. You know, if your governing body, club or workplace isn't doing anything to support mental health and wellness, get yourself to the docs or on group or individual counselling sessions. Do your research online for supplements and other alternative support to help you through the down cycles. It's tough, but you have to be brave or it could ruin your and your loved ones' lives. I think there is a fair amount of talent coming through the ranks in English football. They need looking after, not in a mother hen sense, but in a footballing way. Arsene Wenger, yeah? When you retire from the Emirates, will you become the under-21s footballing director in England, please? You'd be amazing. Was none more so than the Ox. Much love going out to Oxlaide Chamberpot. Check out his impressive skills in England under-21 training. Brought to you by rwdmag.com. RWD is a huge brand for youth, sport, music, film and so on. All ages are welcome, but the RWD site is very Professor Green, Young Jeezy, Marga, Twilight and all that jazz. Adam Clary wants to know what I make of £159 million loss at Man City. Is it the cost of ruining the Premier League or making it interesting once again? I think 159 million is the cost of winning the Premier League nowadays. Existing and surviving in it is a totally different financial ballgame. To compete at the top, that's about the right kind of figure. Long gone are the days of slowly building a squad with a few marquee signings to put on a shot at the title. You know, to go up against Aguero and company isn't going to be cheap, and debt is a fact of football success nowadays. Financial sustainability doesn't win titles, I'm afraid. Look at Everton, sod all in the back pocket, you know, they're keeping on. And the fans are talking about selling, but to who? Clever bods cooking the books at high-flying clubs are running the Premier League nowadays. It might be ruining it for the older generation, but the young'uns coming through won't know any different. You know, the sort that are asking for iPads at 3 years of age. It is horrible, but we are living in an uber-materialistic society and football reflects that. Twitter time now. Eugene Wong70 wants my views on how desperately the game needs decent match officials. Think about dodgy decisions, they're fine if they go our way, your way. The game is played faster than ever before, more passes completed, players cover more ground, so the official's job has become harder without them actually realising it, or us realising it. Challenges are one of the hardest things to judge and penalise appropriately. Referees know what they're doing, but they don't have Inspector Gadget eyes. Like tweeting footballers, we love them so. Over 140 characters, we get to see what they're eating for dinner, arguing with the general public and giving us their news and views on everything, from world peace to dodgy yellow cards. Louis Saha, this is your life from Sarah Hot Scores. Been having a little nose about his timeline, Louis Saha 08. He's had a good innings in the Premier League and he turns 33 next anniversary, 12.8 million quid to United in 2004, and a Champions League medal in 2008, blighted by injury, but he still managed to score 144 goals since joining Newcastle on loan from Mets in the 98-99 season, and 35 at Everton today. One of the things I like about Louis Saha, he seems like a pretty fearless fella on the field, a bit rugged but strong as an ox. And his Twitter activity includes telling Rihanna off for stripping down too much and not being a good enough role model for young girls.
Yeah.
Having a dig at Phil Level for getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and chit-chatting to Fellaini and Tim Cahill. He also dished out some of Everton's day before match training secrets. Lots of box possession and a young versus old mini-game. I wonder who wins. Now it's time for the Hot Scores retrospective. This one is on Paul McGrath, or Paul McGrath 5 as he's known on Twitter. It's always good to have a bit of nostalgia in football. We all have our heroes and favourites from the past, and one of my all-time football loves is Paul McGrath. Oh yes, the mighty Paul McGrath. I've got a video of him singing the Dusty Springfield hit going back up on the Hot Scores website. I know it's a tough one to sing, Paul, so fair play to you. Now, McGrath has defied the medics with his dodgy knees to keep on playing. He was tough as nails on the tackle and had a hurricane of a relationship with Fergie. And despite being offered a $100,000 retirement package and a testimonial, he went on to play some of his best football at Villa. Love his Twitter timeline too. Always looks like he's out and about at gigs and shows. Love you, Paul McGrath. Big shout out to Ozfox and his Leicester City crew from Cairns, Australia. They could be our furthest flung fans. They're happy with the start Nigel Pearson's got up to, and they have their sights set on the Premier League next year. Another big up to www.studsup.com. Dig in their style. If you're having a mardy day, then check out these guys. Guaranteed giggles. Hot Scores done for another week. Thanks for watching. Check the site out for new blog posts and enjoy your weekend of football. Here's my hag. No, there's nothing derogatory about this acronym. It stands for Hot, Awesome, Go. Yes, this week it's all about Jungle Juicy Emily Scott.